All right, welcome to Mental Toughness Monday. We're so excited to have you here. We're also starting with our Essential Emotions book. And next on our list is Brave. This is the oil of courage. It invites individuals to treat others with mutual respect, which includes respect for yourself. So this is beautiful. So this comes in our kids kit. It's called Brave. It's got the white lid. You don't have to only, I think you can buy it separately. Also, you don't have to get it just from the kids kit. I'm feeling like I want some bravery, respect for self, right? Okay, there is an opportunity in every communication to choose to honor the humanity of each person, as every soul is deserving of nothing less. It helps those who have struggled with being mistreated, bullied, excluded, or made to feel less than others. Does somebody want to take over reading this? I am struggling without my glasses and they are not right here.
I can do that.
Thank you, Chris.
This blend also imbues them with the tendency to confront the untruths they have believed about themselves because of negative experiences. Brave clears emotional debris, bolstering individuals with the knowledge that their worth can never be devalued by the actions of others.
Oh, wow.
Brave encourages all to speak up or speak out against things that are wrong, either with their peers or in their family, especially if they feel the problem is theirs to shoulder alone. It takes courage to be vulnerable and share what one has been afraid to say. However, it is through this intrepidity they will free themselves from the destructive consequences of concealment. Brave blend confronts the lie that keeping something hidden keeps it safe. It is only through standing up for truth, no matter how frightening it may be, that the individual can step firmly back into the light and be free. Brave Blend invites all to reclaim the courage they lack. It teaches the only power free has is the power it is given.
The only power, what has?
Let's see. It teaches the only power fear has is the power it is given.
That is so powerful, right? Just like the only power fear has is the power it is given.
Which
That
what we give it, right?
Yeah, it's us giving it power, right? Like that reminds me of that famous quote. Who said it? Was it Winston Churchill? The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Hmm.
And doesn't that so apply right now? Like it just seems like there's a lot of people that are in a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety in our world, and I really love this courage, and I love the standing up and speaking out for things that are incorrect. I'm reading right now Nelson Mandela's book, The Long Walk Home, and it's fun to it's his autobiography, and I'm only like 5 hours into a 22-hour book, but I say reading, I listen, right? That's how I read. So anyway, but it's been really interesting and fun to kind of hear him, talk about that feeling. He had these feelings deep in his heart and he wasn't ready to express them, and he was very much on the sidelines for a long time because he wasn't sure really of himself. But as things became more clear, and he was sure of himself in some ways and on some topics, and so he exhibited those character traits that he later exhibited. Anyway, I this is something I've only like known about it from a very surface, like kind of his name. I know he was some dude in Africa. Like that's the extent of it. And it's been really fascinating to read his story. And then there's also a movie which I haven't seen yet, but I'm like, I don't want to watch it till after I finish reading the book. So, but it smells like Brave has some vetiver in it. Does it to you? Does it have
Smells
vetiver in it?
citrusy to me.
It's citrusy, but it also maybe I've just been out in the dirt this morning because I've been out with the chickens already, and that's what I'm smelling in my hands. But oh, I have thinker. All right.
Which does have vetiver in it.
Yeah, that one does have vetiver in it. I even showed it. That's funny. I actually don't have Brave. So no
It's
bravery over here.
it's citrusy, trust me.
Okay, tell us about it then. Tell us what you're feeling with Brave. Like what do you notice with the scent?
It's uplifting for sure. Um, shoot, I was trying to go find my
I've heard
description
some
here.
really cute stories of not like cute, but like an empowering for kids, stories of kids who are in a bully situation where they're being bullied. And then one story in particular that I remember, and I think doTERRA did a video about it. There was a little girl who was being bullied by some other girls, and she talked to her mom about it. Her mom encouraged her to use Brave and to have it with her, and she used it on herself, and then she felt inspired to offer it to the bully, that the girl that was bullying her. And and it kind of took the girl off guard, I think. And anyway, she smelled it and she liked it, and they actually became friends. So kind of
Oh,
sweet, right? Because even the bullies need bravery, right? They need bravery to
right.
face the truth of their own emotions that are bothering them so much that they feel like they have to bully other people. So I thought
Well,
that was
does any
really
I
cool.
I can't find that oil in a couple of apps. I've looked under Courage Blend,
And under Brave, and it's
Brave.
not showing up, huh?
Yeah, or I'm just losing it today.
All right, well, let's talk about some of the emotions that this addresses, and ways to use it. So you can inhale it from the bottle, you can diffuse it, or put it some drops in your hand and then rub them together and inhale like we do. You can also put it on the solar plexus, because that's like your center, your center of your will. So creating that bravery around the things that you know or want to do. Oh, it says wild orange, amorous, osmanthus, and cinnamon right here on the page.
Yeah,
That's
I
what's in
just saw that.
it. Negative emotions are afraid, inferior, feeling less than, bullied, hiding, unsure, like having self-doubt. And then positive properties that'll bring into your life is courageous, respectful, worthy, and resolute. Now, the oils don't do this work by themselves, of course, but the fact that you are intentionally picking up this oil, putting it into your life, maybe you're combining it with some journaling exercises or whatever. Did you love last week putting blue tansy on your toe every day?
Yeah.
Wasn't that great? I want to know also, did you have any experiences, any inspired actions that you took that you felt like, I don't know, more empowered or more inspired to do? Make sure you unmute yourself if you have something to share.
I
I
should have
feel
wrote things down. Go ahead.
I just was gonna say I feel like I was stepping into doing some braver things
Nice.
through, and I know we're just going into brave, but in the sense of I feel like the blue tansy was really
Yeah.
helpful. And I feel like the blue lotus just before that, like it's really cool how I just was like moving along with my
It's like they're
emotions and my
stacking on
bliss.
top of each other.
Yeah, yeah. So now I'm excited to get brave on. I gotta find some too.
Okay,
And
okay.
yeah, well, I was gonna say something else, but I'll say that after everybody else share.
Okay. Any other thoughts about blue tansy this last week?
I only got it on a couple of times, but I started following through a little better in some of my chores,
Nice. Inspired
which is
action.
inspired action. Keep going, you're not quite done.
Love it.
And I did get it's hilarious because I got a lady to she wanted a bag of cough drops, and I knew I wasn't going to be in our ward Sunday because we had our daughters in town in Idaho Falls. So I said, well, let's get you some cough drops, so the throat drops. And today she texts me, I can get them between 11 10 and 11 today. And I thought, oh my gosh, she needed them yesterday. She's been sick and hasn't been able to come to prayer. And I bet she
Oh,
didn't sing. I bet she did not sing. And I thought, oh, yeah. Well, she just didn't see my text for a week. More than that, 10 days, because I told her to come get it.
Hmm.
But
I,
anyway,
I like how you said that, Kathy. I feel like that's what the follow through, like that's where I was being led to, is following through with things. So,
getting a little bit better, complete, prepared, or getting a
yeah.
little bit done. And yeah.
yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, let's keep doing it. We don't have to take pictures of our toes this week, but I think it would be great to continue to report each day that we put the brave on, and you can say or not say if there's anything awesome that happened during that time. By the way, I had an awesome experience of just meeting a random person and starting a conversation, and ended up inviting them to my sourdough and gut health class this week. So, and I felt like completely like it was not. I didn't even know that store existed. Like I knew that I had to go to that store, but I didn't know that location existed. And I ended up meeting this girl and just really having and no one was in the store. And it was just like so awesome to have that connection. And it was fun because it felt so natural and so real, and at the same time, absolutely inspired. So that was
Nice.
cool.
Are you
Okay,
gonna stream that class perchance?
not this time. But I am really excited about it because I do want to I want to get the details all together the way that that I feel like I need to. And then I am really excited. I've been really kind of intimidated to teach this class because I do not make like this beautiful sourdough loaf everybody's putting all over Pinterest and whatever. It's not the kind you would buy at a farmer's market. You would pass it over for sure because it doesn't have that beautiful look at this point. And also, I'm good with it because I'm totally okay that I don't have to eat pretty bread. It's okay with me. What I really want to share is ways that you can incorporate sourdough into your life in a like practical mom kind of a way that is just like, can you really do this? Because if you have to go and babysit the bread in addition to babysitting everything else, some people do it. Some people can do it. They have time to do it. They love to do it. They want to do it. They feel motivated to do it. Me, I'd rather go to bed. So this is the opportunity to mix up, in like 15 minutes, and you don't even have to have a mixer, although you can use a mixer. 15 minutes of putting your dough together, get it raising, and it raises for 12 to 24 hours before you work with it again, which is amazing. And the longer you go, if you go the full 24, like you are building and working all of that good sourdough. It's going to get tangier as it goes because the bacteria is going to grow more. But you're working all that good stuff. It's working itself. And then you take 10 minutes, 24 hours later to get it into the pans. You can raise it in the fridge if you want to take another night. It just depends on how busy you are. If you want to raise it for an hour or two or whatever, I just want it to be so simple that anybody can do it, and I want it to be so forgiving that you're not just like, this is one more thing on my list of things that I suck at. So that's my goal.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, we'd love to have you come, and I might record it, but I'm not going to stream it because it's just too like I'm too much of a mess, and it just makes me too nervous to have that much going on where I'm trying to work with the live people and somehow create a good experience online at the same time. I don't know.
Right.
So, but
Understand that.
thank you for your
Maybe
interest, and I will send the recording if it turns out any good. I'll definitely share it with you. And even if I don't, even if it doesn't turn out that good, I would share it with you guys because you love me anyway. And if it helps you to get some ideas of like what you want to do, or get some stuff going together in your minds or whatever, then that's my goal as well. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about which number are we
I,
on?
I
72?
think Linda has a comment.
Oh, go ahead, Linda.
Next semester, they're offering sourdough bread banking, and I hope to get in that class.
Oh, wonderful. And
So
you'll want the gut health handout too, right?
I hope so, and I can share that with those there. That'd be great.
Yes, that would be awesome. Well, we'll have that ready for you soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go for number 72. The world class operates from love and abundance.
Where's your
I
glasses?
love this. Life in abundance comes only through great love. This is Elbert Hubbard. He was a farmer and an author. And that is just like the truth. Farmers know, right? Average performers never consider the broad scope and significance love has on everything we do. Professional performers know we can only operate from one of two frames of consciousness at any given time. We can operate from ego or spirit. Middle class performers are masters of operating from ego, in which pride and self righteousness are the objectives of the game. Amateur performers believe their success is primarily their own doing. They believe in the self made man or self made woman theory. The world class is aware that all good things come from the spirit of love. They know love is the natural order of the universe and that ego and self pride have been created by man over the centuries to cover a fragile self image. Many people feel inferior to others and mask their feelings by displaying false pride and bravado. The great ones embrace love as the root of their success and feelings of fulfillment. They know that without love, the loving guidance and support of others, they could not have reached or even dreamed of aspiring to the world class. Their recognition of and gratitude for the power of love creates more abundance in their lives. This foundation of potential continues to bless champions. The only thing that can clog the system is ego, which is the evil stepchild of fear. The great ones lock the door when ego comes to town. They only acknowledge the spirit-based consciousness, which they recognize is by its calling card, love and abundance. Ego cannot exist in this realm, only gratitude. While the amateur egotistically believes that he is responsible for his great success, the pros know that the abundance of life comes from a far greater source. Wow, this goes with brave, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes bravery to overcome our own ego, doesn't it? Okay, on the back, we have a world-class resource, The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. That's a great book if you haven't read it. It's probably worth a reread if you have. And then there's here's a self-reflection for you to figure out, am I operating from spirit or ego? Spirit is non-judgmental, ego is judgmental. Spirit is loving, ego is fear-driven. Spirit is accepting versus ego afraid of risk. Spirit is tolerant, ego competitive. Spirit is devoid of pretension, ego is pretentious. Spirit is calm, ego is rushed. Spirit is abundant, ego is scarce. Spirit is friendly, ego is friendless. Spirit is win win, ego is win lose. Spirit is forgiving, ego unforgiving. Spirit is selfless, and ego is selfish. And spirit is creative, while ego is frustrated. Doesn't it sound like we want to operate from spirit? It sounds so much more peaceful and happy. Any thoughts on this before we read our action step?
Love has everything to do with um, success. I think you've got to have love of humanity, love of family,
Yeah.
love of service.
Yeah. A true care for the people, right? That's why we're in this business, is because we really care.
It'd be interesting to study these in the characteristics of the Savior and compare some of these.
Yeah.
Because in our quest to be more Christ-like and more more in line with our beliefs, we have these problems, and some of these, yeah, could be very beneficial focus for us.
Yeah, ego is the natural man, right? An enemy to God.
Yeah,
Yep.
the statement, their recognition of and gratitude for the power of love creates more abundance in your lives, their lives. Yeah, so love and abundance hand in hand.
Yeah. Okay, I just started. You're going to want to write this one down. Another book. I read more than one book at a time.
Here's my okay. What is it?
But this one is short. It's only 4 hours, and she talks really slow, so you can listen to it on double or even more speed.
What's the name of the book? By who?
The name of the book is Make Miracles in 40 Days, and it's by Melody Beattie. She also wrote, you may have read Codependent No More and some others. Her personal story is just absolutely phenomenal. But this particular story in this book is a how-to of moving into that space of love and gratitude for what is and creating miracles from that space of self-acceptance and acceptance of the world around. So I just started the book yesterday. I listened to like 2 hours. So I listened to half the book, right? And and then this morning I got up to do the exercise because she has an exercise for you to do and you can start even before you really know what you're doing. And what I noticed right off the bat as I got up and was great. So the first thing I noticed is that I wake up, I typically, this is me, I typically wake up feeling anxious. I have too many things on my list to do. And so as soon as I wake up, I'm like, I got to get out of bed and I got to get going. And what should I do first? I got to do the most important thing first because I'm going to get distracted and then I'm not going to get the most important things done. So, what's the most important things? And immediately 10 or 15 things flood into my mind as the most important. but but this recognition of this like habit or thought pattern or whatever, so I started the writing exercise with that. I'm grateful that I feel this blah blah blah. I don't feel grateful, I just am grateful. Okay, I'm grateful that I feel anxiety when I wake up. Anyway, so I start this thing and then I get through all of that and I do it for like 10 minutes. I probably did it honestly for 20 because I had a whole flood of new stuff after I finished the first time. It's called, the name of the book again is called Make Miracles in 40 Days. And it's by Melody Beattie or Beattie, Beattie, I think is the spelling on her word, on her last name. Anyway, the thing that I noticed next as I started listening to my affirmations. So I have 3 sets of affirmations that I listen to every morning. One is the I am a woman of faith affirmations I put together a few years ago. Some of you have heard those. The second is one that my sister just made called I Am Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise. And she sent it to me and I love it. So I listened to that one. And then the third one is the recording that I made from Hal Elrod's exercise. Remember, he gave us that at the end of the year. And I think we've talked about it a couple of times. But anyway, if you haven't done that, do it because it's so powerful. But one of the things that he gives you, the verbiage at the beginning is, I am a true doTERRA leader. I accept everything exactly as it is and I don't waste any time. um uh it's not trying to change things because obviously we do that, but like complaining, I don't waste any time complaining about what is. And this was so fascinating in light of this idea of being grateful for the fact that I'm waking up with all of this anxiety, because it like I felt so much release of the anxiety and everything we know about emotions. Like, I mean, all the stuff is coming into my mind now of just like, this is what we learned is that the way to work through your emotions is not to resist them. And she says that in the book too. She says you feel the feeling and then you move on. And we know this from like so many pieces, but like it all has come together for me in this moment. I can't remember why I'm telling you this. Read the book if you want.
So, Brenda, I want to share something too along the lines of what you're talking about. We've also been Helen Roy also talked about um, having faith, and I can't remember the first word he said on that. Do you remember?
Unwavering, unwavering
Unwavering
faith.
faith and extraordinary effort.
Yes.
And keeping that as your true north, right? Just remember, have unwavering faith and extraordinary effort. So it's going to take extraordinary effort, but if you have faith in moving forward that the effort will produce the results you want, then you'll be successful. And I really like the power in that.
I love that too. And I want to say that unwavering faith and extraordinary effort can be as simple as believing that a simple tool, any of these simple tools like the oils or the journaling or whatever it is that you're working on, that faith that that thing is going to make a difference for you. And when you don't believe that it's going to make a difference for you, the unwavering effort is doing it anyway, right? Is just allowing yourself to be in that space of like, I don't believe this and I'm doing it anyway. Usually that doesn't last a super long time, but it might for a little while. But that's you exercising that unwavering faith and continuing with that extraordinary effort, even when you don't feel like it. And that's another thing that he puts into the words is like, regardless of how I feel about doing the things. So you can make a list of what you have to do for your business. That's how he recommends that you do it. Um, for me, I found that having that list of business things created a lot of anxiety in my life because it's more reasons. And I do think that men and women are different in this way. And maybe a lot of men are like this too. I don't know. But I do, of course, we have to have some schedule and some structure to the things that we're doing. But the most important pieces are like when you can find the like the legs to a table of something that you're trying to dismantle. If you can take out one or two of the legs, the rest of it starts to collapse, right? So if you can find what's holding up, what's blocking, and start to work through those things, then more of the good things. It's not like you don't know what to do to grow your business, right?
Mm.
We get stuck in the anxiety or the emotions, the beliefs, the stuff that we're hiding it so well. We hide it from everyone and we even hide it from ourselves. And so this morning when I woke up was the first time that I recognized that that feeling that I have when I wake up is not like I'm raring to go, I'm excited for the day. It's anxiety of like, what am I going to do and how am I going to get done? And will I choose the right thing to get done today? I didn't recognize it as anxiety until this morning when I was looking for things to be grateful for that were um that were as they are, the truth of how it is. And when I started in the gratitude and I realized I was telling myself, I'm so grateful that I'm like full of energy. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm not full of energy. And I actually would rather sleep a little bit more, but I feel like I have to get up because I have so many things on my list of things to do today. And that was me starting to be honest with myself. So, anyway, this is awesome because I think that uncovering those things bring you into that space where your body and your mind are open to that love and abundance. All right, I've talked way too much. I'm sorry.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yay. Is
But
that
thank you for letting me share what I'm learning and I hope that it is helpful to you as well. Any final thoughts before we hop off and I get on another call? Oh, are you, Tim, if you're talking to us, then
Yeah,
you
I
need
am.
to,
Sorry, I am.
okay.
I actually was muted anyway. So go look at Brenda's invitation for a sourdough class. It's really cool. I'm proud of her.
Oh, it's on my story. Yes,
Yep.
Facebook stories. Go check it out.
It's on Instagram too, isn't it?
Yes, it posted in both places. And
Yes.
thanks for reminding me. I better go look and see if I have anybody that wants an invitation.
Yeah, better follow up. Follow up's king, right?
That's right. Awesome. Okay, thank you all so much. Oh, and I'm going to do this class, and whether it goes well or whether it goes crappy, I am offering to teach this class to any of your friends and neighbors or whatever, including traveling. I will totally go to wherever we can figure out a time. So if you want me to come and teach it, I will. If you want to learn it and teach it yourself, that's totally up to you as well. So just let me know what you want. Love you guys. Mom, are you having one more comment? Because you're muted.
I'm always talking when I'm not muted, so I mute myself sometimes. I wanted to have you call me
Okay, but I can't call you right now. I have another call. I'll call you later. Love you.
Hey, Brenda, talk to me before you call.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
See?
And we've got
Now you
appointment.
understand. Now you understand why I wake up that way.
Mom.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.